This video is going to be about installing a cover on my Arctic Fox 1150. I'm doing it mainly for UV protection during the summertime and perhaps a little bit of protection from the rain because it is supposed to be waterproof. I originally bought one cover. It did not fit properly. It didn't match the dimensions on the box. There was just a few things wrong with it. So the company sent me out another one, an updated version, and that's the one I'm going to be installing today. I live in the frozen north in Canada, so a cover is really not something a lot of people use up here. Mainly for storage in the winter inside. The winds we get up here in the wintertime would completely shred any cover. I'm pretty sure about that. They end up causing more damage than they prevent. So using the cover is something I would use on days like today where it's not windy, if a camper's sitting for a week or two at a time, just to keep the UV off of it. That was my plan. Now everybody has a different type of need as far as covers go, and there's different weights to them. And I didn't want something that was really, really heavy. I want something I could put on myself. The last one was fairly light, and it was a challenge crawling up the ladder and draping it over the whole camper. So I'm going to install that and I'm going to see if it fits. And here is what they sent me. It is the newest model of the version that did not fit last time. So what's in this box, I do not know. I'm assuming this is the bag to store it in. I think this is patching material. This is a Camco cover, by the way. And here is the cover itself. I guess I'm going to have to cut this open and lift it out. This is the model number, if anyone's looking for it, for an 1150. It's been a challenge to find a cover that fits because this camper is quite large, so if this does fit, I will be surprised. After discussing with them back and forth through a few emails, they assured me it would fit. Another shot at the product tag here and the part number. This model, I believe, does have a zippered door in the back so you can get into the camper without removing the cover, which should be handy. I'm not going to unroll it because I have to crawl up the ladder with it. It's not really heavy, it's just quite bulky. So again, if you're crawling up your ladder with one arm and things in your hands, be very careful and use the grab rail that's on the roof of your camper. You don't need to fall 12 feet putting on a cover. I'm not sure which way this is orientated. I'm assuming this is the inside here. The last time I rolled one of these out, it rolled out the correct way, so it was fairly easy to drape it over the camper. As usual, it is a challenge coming up all this way with this in your arms. Some people remove their grab rails and put storage boxes up here, so I have no idea how you get on your roofs. I have an additional vent over the front of the bed now. Since the last time I put a cover on, it sticks up a bit, so I'm hoping it doesn't interfere with this. It shouldn't, but we will see. So far, so good. It's quite different from the last cover. The material's different. There's buckles all over the place that you got to make sure you undo before you put it on. And it's labeled nicely too. You can't mix that up. So on it goes. Okay, it's draped over. Now I'm going to go down and try and tug it around. It's a lot different material than the last cover, as I mentioned earlier. Hopefully it fits. It kind of looks like it's going to fit. Fingers crossed. Okay, does it fit? Well, kind of, sort of. First thing I should say is you're going to have to get a bit creative on how you move the straps around on the camper. I copy those monkeys that eat ants out of anthills with sticks. So I taped a couple pieces of bamboo together and a piece of tape on the end to get the buckle through. It seemed to work okay. Anyway, to the camper now. Does it fit? Kinda, sorta. they weren't lying in that the overall length was adjusted, because it is way more generous than before. The cab over is completely covered. You could probably pull it back a little more. However, I didn't want to do that because the ends are exposed here. Now, it is also longer. It covers the whole box of the trucking too. The back corners line up very well. And there's enough length. There's generous length to it. So lengthwise it fits. It's got a nice large zipper door in the back so you can get in and out of the camper. That's not going to be a problem. And it has long enough straps for a dual rear wheel truck like mine. So that was very nice that they've made the straps long enough so that us dually guys can have enough length to get them straps under the truck. I don't know about having straps against paint, so I'm going to pad them with some soft terry towel rags to make sure they don't abrade the paint if the wind comes up. What could make this thing a great cover is if they made it just a bit longer here. And I don't understand why. This is too short. Now, the camper's 90% covered. This would fit better if it would go behind the jacks. There is room down here for this one, but the top one can't go behind the jack because I have dually brackets. It has to sit there. So there's no other place to go with that. And that one just slides in between the bed and the truck. And I think that's the best way to keep it tight. Yeah, that gap kind of bothers me, but I'm protecting it against UV and rain, so really, does that matter? I guess not that much. It's got more straps on it this time too. The other one didn't have these under the cab over straps, so that's good. And these straps are all attached. The one I had before, you had to attach them yourself, so putting the straps on is actually a breeze, except for the stick thing, of course. And they did make this very, very generous on the cab over, because these new campers have such large cab overs. They're huge up front, and even with the extra vent I have, it fits. The cab over fits. I could probably pull that back a bit, and I may. Next time I install, I'm not going to adjust it now. So does it fit? Yeah. Could it be better? Yes. Camco could make this a little better if they just included a little bit more material here. I don't know why they don't. Now, if this camper had no jacks on it, front or back, I think it would move it farther forward enough that you can see there's probably, 3 inches here. It would probably fit. But these ginormous campers, the jacks don't come off of them. My old Bigfoot, you could take the jacks off, but this is a whole different thing, these new campers. So Camco could make this a great cover if they just put a little more fabric up front here. Not a big deal. I don't know why it's like that. I guess maybe I can get at my fresh water now without taking the cover off. I guess that's a good thing. Other than that, the materials seem excellent. There's nothing loose, there's no stitching. It's a heavy cover. It should last for a long time. I'm probably going to use this winter when I put it away for storage, just to cover everything up to keep the birds off of it when it's in the barn. Other than that, I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to return it. These things don't last forever. They're consumables. I assume you get a few years out of them and you get a new one. Winds can tear them to pieces in storms, and I'm using it mainly for UV protection anyway. It's kind of bunched up on the back there because I got all those vents out back here. But other than that, pretty good. Even has little Velcros on top, so if you want to roll this thing up and use your camper with a cover on it, I guess you could do that too. So, does this fit in a 1150 Arctic Fox? Yes. Could it be a bit better? Yes, it could be just a bit better if they included a little bit more material here. Why that's not there, it's very puzzling to me. I'm going to write Camco and send them a few pictures and ask them that. So overall, yeah, it fits, and I'm going to keep it. I don't feel like sending it back again, and it fits light years better than the last one. The last one didn't even come close. And this one actually fits, and it's covering the camper up from UV right now, and that's what I want it for anyway. So if anyone's looking for a cover to fit your new 1150, the Camco will fit. Make sure you get the latest model. Does it fit perfect? No, but it's all a compromise because none of these are custom built. You can get a custom cover, I'm sure, built out of whatever material you want, but you're looking at $2,000 or $3,000 instead of $200 or $300. So to sum it all up, I would buy this for an 1150. I don't know how long it will last, but we shall see. Hope this helps anyone who's looking for a cover for their newer large camper. Thanks for watching.